Hey guys, so you better settle in because this one is going to be a doozy. This is the story of how UPS has basically ruined all of my travel plans by losing my passport. As many of you know, I am moving to London for school and I'm supposed to be leaving 8 days from now. I was supposed to receive my passport 2 weeks ago. The way that it works is you have to mail your passport to the consulate in New York. They print your travel documents, which is called a visa, into your passport, and then they mail it back to you. And that gives you permission to enter the UK and live there. As the consulate was sending me back my passport, the courier service that they use, UPS, lost it. This has been the worst 2 weeks of my entire life. Firstly, I call UPS to let them know that I never received my package, and they are like, oh, okay, we'll just tell the sender to replace it. Excuse me? No, I can't just call the UK government and be like, hey, UPS lost my passport, can you issue me a new one? Doesn't work like that. So I explained to the man that it is my passport inside of that package and it just can't be replaced magically. And he's like, oh, well, we'll just open up a claim and we'll try to find it. I'm like, okay, how long does this process take? And he goes, oh, about 8 to 10 business days. And if we don't find it, we'll just open a claim on it and replace it. Oh, like it's that easy. Like, it's no problem. We're just gonna waste all of your time. And if we don't find it, it's no big deal because the big bad company is gonna pay for it. 2 days later, I get a phone call from a UPS employee. The UPS employee asks me, did you never receive your package? No, that's why we're going through this. 2, oh, well, what was in the package? Like I told the guy before, my passport and my visa travel documents. I'm moving. 3, oh, well, why don't you just call the sender and have them replace it? 2 days later, and by this point, I have had someone I know locally that works at UPS look into their computer, and I now know that the last place it was checked in is in Manhattan. I have another UPS employee call me. Same thing. 1, did you not receive your package? No. 2, oh, well, what was in the package? I see here it was a visa. No, it was my passport and my visa documents. Oh, I thought it was a Visa card. No! Does no one communicate in this freaking company? And then 3, she's like, well, why don't they just replace it? Because they can't replace it. And I've said that 5 times to 5 different people and nobody seems to be listening to me. Then I'm like, okay, well, are you looking for it? I was told that it was in the Manhattan Sorting Center. Has anybody looked at the Manhattan Sorting Center for my passport? Has anyone gone to search for it? And she goes, oh, well, I'm gonna go search in the Lost and Found right now. And I was like, okay, awesome. Are you at Manhattan? And she was like, no, I'm in Virginia. Why would my passport be in Virginia? Are they so incompetent that it didn't check out of Manhattan? It then checked in Virginia where it wasn't supposed to be, and nobody scanned it anywhere in between? Nobody found it? Nobody scanned it. So it's somewhere in the United States and they're so incompetent that not one person has scanned it. I'm finding it really hard to believe. So then she asks me, well, what does it look like? It looks like a passport. Okay, well, I've never seen one before, so can you explain what that looks like? At this point, I'm like, are you kidding me? You work for one of the worldwide postal services and you don't know what a passport looks like. So I have to explain to her in weird details that it's about the height of a soup can and it's about the width of your palm. It's navy blue. It says United States passport on it. And she's like, okay, well, I'll go look for it. Great. Lo and behold, it's not found. So 2 days later, I get another phone call from a different UPS employee again. And I'm sure you can guess how that went. The exact same. Did you receive the package? No. Well, what was in the package? My passport. Oh, it's your passport? Yes. How has no one communicated this? 3, well, you should just have the sender replace it. The sender is not the United States government, who is the only people with authority to give me a new passport. So finally, after 2 weeks of this complete ridiculousness, I'm running out of time. So I call the UPS center and I say, listen, I need to know what has happened with your investigation. I need to know what you found. I need to know what's going on because nobody has told me anything. And I've called here a bazillion times and everyone is refusing to tell me anything that's going on. So I finally get on the phone with a supervisor at the customer service center, and he tells me that the investigation has closed today. This was Monday. The investigation has closed and they weren't able to find it and they've opened a claim on it. And I'm like, great, so you're gonna pay to replace what was in there? And he's like, oh, well, we won't pay you, we'll pay the sender. It's my property. I paid for the shipping. I paid for everything. It just has to go through the consulate. And I'm like, they're like, well, they'll replace it. I'm like, you're telling me the consulate, who I have never talked to, who doesn't have my information, is gonna just call me and give me money? Because I don't think that that's how that's gonna work. And it's not their property, it's mine. And so UPS has completely refused to pay for any of this. I went on Monday and I went to the passport office 3 hours away, and they were kind enough to replace my passport same day. I come home about 3 hours later. I get a phone call from another different UPS employee who seems to be the only one in that entire company who has any clue what's happening, because he calls me and he's the first person that has any idea what's happening. He's like, hi, I just wanted to touch base with you. I'm really sorry that we weren't able to find your package. And he sits there and listens to me for 10 minutes complain about the incompetency of the entire workforce at UPS that I have been in contact with for the past 2 weeks. And then he opens up my file and he spends the next 15 minutes profusely apologizing for me for how inappropriately this was handled, how completely ridiculous they gave me the runaround and didn't tell me any information. They clearly were not communicating. And he said, I am so sorry. They have completely put you through this. I'm sorry we weren't able to find it. I know it's not easy to replace. You know, we did everything that we could and we did close it. He confirmed that the claim had been open on it and everything was done. At this point, I've replaced my passport too. Like, it's done. Like, once you file it missing, it's done. I go to bed. I wake up 6 hours later and I have an email from that same employee who was the only nice person in this entire situation, and he had found my passport in New York, where I said it would be. I literally think he's the first person in this entire scenario that took the time to actually go physically look for it. And guess what? He found it where everybody said it would be. But now I have to replace my visa and I have no idea how to do that. I am probably going to miss my flight next Thursday because I'm not going to have travel documents. UPS has 100% royally screwed me over. This has been the most negative experience I have ever had in my entire life. They have been uncooperative. They have been rude. They have refused to give me information. They have been unsympathetic. They have had no idea what is going on in the situation, no idea how dire the situation was, and the importance of what it was they lost. They thought, we are just some faceless company and corporate will pay for it if we've made a mistake, so we're not gonna actually go look for it and try to fix it. That seems to be what every employee there thinks. So, moral of story is UPS sucks. So if you're thinking of sending important legal documents through UPS, I would not suggest it, because if they lose it, you're pretty much screwed and they're not gonna fix the mistake that they made. And I have no idea what's going on with me. Like, I have no idea. I don't know when I'm gonna get to London. I don't know how long it's gonna take to fix this problem. I'm working on it slowly but surely. It's not an easy problem to fix. And I'm done. Like, there's nothing else I can do about it except make this video and call out UPS for the bull that they have put me through. I have spent the last 2 weeks being equally sad and equally angry and not knowing what to do. I felt like I couldn't make a video because, God forbid, something was to happen. So now that it's all said and done, everyone knows what's happened. So now I'm just gonna try and calm down and move on from this because there's nothing I can do about it. But I just thought everyone should know the story of how UPS lost my passport.